So the blow pop is my absolute favorite lollipop. Okay, that's it. No, I'm kidding. Let's go. Yes. So it can be any flavor. Now, people try to mix the blow pop with the Tootsie Roll pop. No, I don't like the caramel Tootsie Roll inside. I like the bubble gum because it's 2 in 1. I never really do I really eat Tootsie Rolls? Not really. Will I eat a Tootsie Roll pop if someone was offering it? Okay. But no, it's the blow pop in every color, in every shade. It's always, I never bit it. I would always just, enjoy the yummy hard candy part. And then when you're done, you have your bubble gum, blow bubble gum, and then the lollipop, the candy. So that's my jam. So I'm not sure why I chose the nostalgic lollipop picture on the thumbnail, but it's pretty. And it's the only emoji that we have. So yeah, that's my favorite. Now, I was thinking, okay, after I say that, what do I need to talk about? First of all, welcome to Glass Culture. Please subscribe. Whenever you're watching this, let me know you appreciate the fact that every day you should celebrate something. And what I'll do over on the playlist, let me see, because it's my storytime playlist. What I'll do is start adding hashtags because I don't know, as a content creator, well, I'm a content creator. So what I do on my playlist, I can't talk for anyone else, is I actually add a description. So I'm going to start adding hashtags. So everything I talk about, I'm going to hashtag it because I'm already in algorithms on the topics I already talked about. So good. The bots and I get along just fine. So hit the like button. Let me know you're there. Thank you. And share it. Let me know that you care that Deirdre is not doing negativity anymore. She's doing positivity. Yeah. Let me know, or else I'm going to stop sharing your stuff and I'm going to stop being subscribed. Okay, that wasn't nice, but it's true, hearts. It's true. Can you imagine putting all your hard work and effort into somebody else and they act like they don't know you? No, ma'am. You won't be invited to my birthday party. So in the news today, it was super boring. I'm not going to talk about people that I don't watch. I'm not going to discuss negativity. I'm not going to address mental ill people. I'm not going to focus on anything that doesn't have to do with what I'm working on, for instance. So I was like, okay, lollipop, what do I want to talk about? When I plan my retirement party, okay, I want to have a candy table. This is nothing new. Everyone does it. Weddings, birthday parties, graduations, gatherings, anniversaries, bachelorettes, whatever. Come on over and have a good time. Football is coming. Oh, I'm starting to pay attention to ESPN. They're starting to talk about, training camps, as they call them. There's shout out to the future and beyond, but currently in present time, they're going to start reporting next week. I'm super excited. And then the U.S. Tennis Opens is next month. And another reason, if you're paying attention, if you know what's happening over here in class culture, another reason why I wanted to do my storage this week and not on my off days, which is tomorrow is my Saturday and then Thursday is my Sunday. And I didn't want to do all that on my off days. So had I not took today off, I would have just had one day to rest. No, ma'am. So is because next week it's going to be hot and I knew it. Okay, like 4 years ago, it was hot, like 90 plus for a week. And then 3 years ago, it was hot 90 plus for 2 weeks. And so on and so forth. Last year, I bought a whole floor fan. It is ugly. I don't care. It makes noise. It ain't supersonic. You plug it in and the blades on the fan go round and round. I just need air. It was so hot. So next week, it's going to be over 90 degrees. So that's another reason why I went and did stores this week. Okay, back to me and the candy. So I'm thinking at my retirement party, and I'm going to put it together. I don't really do birthday parties. Never really, not after I growed up. My mom would have little birthday parties and things. I don't know. I guess because we're in the military, we traveled a lot. So we were never near family. We only celebrated during weddings and family reunions. And obviously they would have tables of food and candy dishes and things like that. But I never planned a party and invited people and fingers crossed hope they came, because I've been in the military. I've lived abroad. I'm adulting, I'm not around a lot of people that much. Even when I was raising children, I would go to work on my birthday. If it's a Tuesday, I'm going to work. I'll celebrate it next Saturday or the Saturday before that, or when my folk could get together. And then at work, they would celebrate it at work. Even at work, you have a candy dish table, And they would always ask me, what is your favorite candy? And I would let them know. But because I know everyone didn't like those, I would always bring the bag of, blow pops. Always. And I would add it to the table. And people would always, oh, you could have told me. No, not really. I just knew nobody would bring them. And beggars can't be choosers. And I'm very humble and blessed. And whatever you give me, and it was cool. But for my retirement/birthday party, and it might be in March, it might not. I don't care. It's just going to happen next year. I want to have a candy dish or a candy bar or a chocolate bar or whatever. I definitely want to include that. Whether I have 4 people or 40, it won't matter. It's just me celebrating, having fun. I'm going to be happy. At my daughter's wedding, we only had 40 people. It was a destination wedding. It was fine. At my wedding, because I'm thinking we had about 6 tables, 8 people to a table. It is what it is. It was on a yacht. It was on a boat. But I like small, intimate, manageable, everybody's name type of gathering. So if I have something, it'll be something like that. And I'm definitely gonna have a candy table, because I don't know, it's fun. You don't stop having fun just because you're 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20 in your teens. Who stops having fun? Who doesn't like candy? Who doesn't want to be treated or celebrated? And the thing about and I thought about it. I said, okay, Do I start buying this stuff during Christmas? Do I start buying it during January? When do I start buying it and planning it? So what I'm going to do, hearts, is I'm going to start buying the vessels that the candy go inside of around Christmas. Why? Because you can find deals and I can design the table and set it up and then pack it away, right? Because I'm going to be settled. I might not be all the way moved in, but I'm going to be settled. Okay. So that's one plan. Another plan was, do I buy it? You know, candy's candy. Let's be real. When you buy candy, unless it's chocolate, I'm talking about hard candy. You know, they made that candy 6 months ago. So, you know, like me. So I'm thinking I'll keep my eyes open for the deals, right? Because they have a bunch of online stores. They have, because you can't go into Target and get like, you know, 60 candy bars. No, you buy that stuff online. And then I was thinking, do I get it in the wrapper with my name on it? Do I design something? Will it have a Class Cultures logo on it? Will it be a swag bag? I don't know. So I'm watching videos. That's why I love YouTube about that. You know, I've planned plenty of parties. The last big party I did was my daughter's wedding. And then I did my own wedding. And then before that, I was always planning something for someone else at an event, getting paid during somebody else's celebration, which is very satisfying. It's fun. But then as I grew older and I stopped doing that, and I vowed I'm not planning nobody. That was one daughter. That was it. That was enough. No, ma'am. That was so stressful. And I asked her, did she want a candy table? She didn't want a candy table. She wanted, I think it was just her cake and the dessert, and that's it. She didn't want a candy table. So that was cool. And I think you couldn't bring in your own stuff. That was another thing. So we had favor bags. So I had favor bags at her wedding and my wedding. And I had the covered wedding almonds. And what else did I have? We had little Bibles. We literally gave Bibles away at our wedding. Little Bibles. We had a cross. We had the almond candy. We had something else. I want to say it was a starfish, not the big fat ones, the thin ones. And I had it all in cute little organza bags. Mhm. We got to the part at the wedding, at my wedding, my daughter's wedding, went off perfectly. But we got to the part where we were supposed to give out the favors and nobody could find them, and that was that. Come to find out, someone left them in the parking lot at the hotel. So the hotel lobby folks held it, but they didn't know where my wedding was. So when we got back, we were like, oh man. So what I did is I mailed them with my thank you letters to everyone. And they were like, oh, that was cute and better, you know, more perfect, because they could enjoy it in their home versus on a yacht. It makes sense. But anyway, they didn't have a clue that they were supposed to get it, but I was disappointed. Even my wedding cake was supposed to have edible rose petals, but who knows where those were. But it was fine. You know, things happen. But I wish, in hindsight, I wish I would have had a candy table or a little spot, or even had, I would have had them just laid in the middle of each table. Little, I've always grew up with a candy dish on the table. I know that's a little old fashioned, but it is what it is. And my mom would always put different little candies in there. And back when I was growing up, remember I told the story about my candy in my little bag? You know, that was mine. I wasn't sharing it with anyone. But from my mom's point of view, it was sort of like a welcome, hospitality, breath freshener, glad you're here type of vibe, right? Nobody does that anymore. Does anyone have candy dishes? So that's what I'm gonna do. I want to have candy dishes. I want to have a candy bar. I want to have lollipops. I want to have maybe, cupcakes. I don't want a big cake. If I get a cake, it's just going to be a me cake because that's weird having a big old cake for it. I mean, unless I was retiring like it used to be in the old days. They used to hold, oh, I miss working at Wells Fargo, y'all. Oh, I miss working at Wells Fargo. Somebody was asking me, so you're elected to retire early. I said, from being employed, but I'm not retired until I'm like 74, 75. Why? Because I'm going to be making movies. I can't work for a company and do that. It's dumb. I can't do it. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Because you do not have to draw Social Security, people. Okay. Until you want to. You don't have to draw it early. And the longer you wait, the more money you get. Anyway. So it's not like I'm retiring from a company that's going to throw me a big soiree. No, with a gold watch. Those days are gone. They used to do that back. My mom's generation was probably the last generation, unless y'all lucky and work for big financial corporations, that throw retirement parties. And if you did get a retirement party, you had to be there like over 30 years, and there ain't nobody doing that no more. Why? Because they took the pensions away. So if I'm going to throw myself a retirement party, it's kind of weird. It's like, okay, I know I'm celebrating just the now, but I've had a lot of work experience. So in that process, Hearts, I'm going to be working on a board that I want going. Now I'm talking crazy because I'm tired. That I am going to work on while I do my vision boards. And I want to show my journey. My first job ever, meaning employed by somebody else and I got a paycheck, was at a pizza joint. And I only worked there for like a month. But it was fun. I was proud of myself. I came back home and I told my mom, I got a job. She was like, where? And I don't know. She was very judgmental on what you did, where you worked, what you looked like, or the people you were around. See, her generation was different from mine, and it is what it is. But I was having a ball. It was fun. I was dressed up in my little outfit. I had my little gym shoes on. I had my little pants on. It was just around the corner. It was just a home grown, probably mom and pop pizza joint. I can't remember the name. I really honestly. I just know it was safe. It was right across the street from the police precinct where my dad used to work. It took me 10 minutes to walk there and 10 minutes to get home. Right? And man, it was busy. It only had about three or four. Yeah, 3 or 4 round tables with 2 chairs at each table against the wall, because it was mostly for back then, right? Because this had to be in 1978-ish, because I was 14, 15. I don't count being a candy striper, being employed. That was really my first volunteer job. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'll get some money. To me, that was important because I didn't want to work in the mall. I didn't want to work in retail. But anyway, and it had to be run by Italians. I remember that part. And it was good pizza. But they had a little candy bar. They weren't selling it. It was just there. I remember that. And I would just look at all these little candies, and they didn't look regular. Or at the Farmer Jack's. That was the name of our grocery store. It was different. Well, it was probably from Europe. But I remember they had little lollipops. So when you look at the history of lollipops and sweets and candy and sugar and treats and, uh, uh, you know, the evolution of how, certain candies evolved, like on the History channel, they talk about different candy companies. They talk about it was so weird because tomorrow in real time I'll be all caught up. So thank you, Hearts, I appreciate you guys. But I just started thinking, what was the first time? I remember when the twins, I used to buy them the little suckers all the time. Because it was just fun to treat them. But I was thinking about myself. When was the first time I really had a lollipop? Because that wasn't my mom's thing, right? And it had to be at that pizza parlor. And then I started going to, you're a kid, and then you're a tween, then you're a teen. I was started going to the dentist, probably my tweens, you know. And then they would give out those little cheap round ones with the wrappers around them. I thought that was trash. I was like, no, I'll take I always took the toy, whatever the plastic toy was. But yeah, I think that's the first time at my first job in the pizza parlor. Italian ran, nice people. It could still be there for all I know. I doubt it, but anyway. I think that's the first time I ever had that type of lollipop. Okay? And then I didn't stay there long. I think it had something to do with the hours, and my mom said no. So I was like, okay. And then after that, it was high school. Every summer, I would get a job. Shout out to Coleman Young. He would have the summer jobs. Ooh, that's the whole story time in Detroit, Michigan. But anyway, I still have a letter with his signature on it, thanking me for working. All right. But then in high school, then I got the job at the Renaissance Center. Right. And I think that's when, I don't know, I should have looked it up. That's when blow pops and candies and the late 70s, early 80s, baby, all candy stores, malls, movie candy, all of that started becoming available. Remember, that wasn't available before. It was shout out to the old heads, the young people are just listening. Thank y'all. I love my demographics. But yeah, it had to be 80, 81, 82. I graduated 82, joined the military 83. Married 84, kids 85, boom, boom, boom. We moved to Germany 86 because they were one. Okay, life was lifing. And that had to be the first time I had, why do they call me? Hold on for a second. Okay. I'm telling you, it's quick. I just say, call me back. But yeah, that had to be the first time. And then working downtown, because I'm a young adult. St. Mary's of Redford is on Grand River. If you look it up, it would say Mansfield. That's just the side street. The church is still there. I would take the bus from high school all the way down. That bus went straight to the Renaissance Center. I guess it's the GM building now. I don't know. And work. And after work, my uncle would pick me up and take me home. Shout out to Uncle William. But anyway, they had a candy store like no other candy store. I started buying candy. I started putting candy in the candy dish when I raised my children. Do they still sell candy dishes? I mean, really? So what I'll do when I'm retired at home, I'm going to make sure I have a candy dish on my coffee table because I'm definitely going to have a candy bar, a candy table, a chocolate cupcake spot just to celebrate. Okay? That's an accomplishment. Surviving. That's something I should treat myself. I'm going to go online. I'm going to do all my homework. I'm going to work up my little budget. I'm going to get my little vessels. Now, I don't want to get too many of them. I was thinking, because if it's glass, I'll keep it in the boxes, but I got to stop ordering stuff, right? But if I see something, y'all, and I gotta have it, I'm getting it. And I don't want the plain clear ones. That's boring, right? I want the fancy ones because after the event, I'm taking those home. Unlike my wedding, I should show you all one day over on Art and Craft Therapy what my daughter's centerpieces look like. And people who got to take them home, they still use them now. They fill them with candy. They change the flowers and they put Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations. They still use it. So that amazes me. But I'm thinking I'm going to use the same core design that I decorated her wedding tables, because we had the reception in the same place we had the dinner, and do my own thing. I'm going to make my own centerpieces. I'm going to have no more than 6 tables, and each table will have these candies and all my favorite little things on there. I already have it in my mind. I already know what I want. I can't order it all in one big go. So I'm just going to get a little bit of everything at a time. Think about it. I only have 6 months. So 1 month I have to buy the vessel. The next month I have to buy the centerpiece. The vessel is the candy dish. The centerpiece is the decoration I got to work on. I'm not trying to give too much away. Then I have to buy the thing that go on the top. That's all I'm saying. Now I am going to have flowers. Then I have to buy the flowers, right? Then I have to buy this is number 5, the tablecloths. And number 6 is the actual candy. Now, I'll take 3 months to get all the candies and stuff. Then I'll put an order in ahead of time for my cupcakes. I'm not making them. No, ma'am. So it's like planning a wedding, Arts. It really is. It's like, oh my God. I'm not even sure if it's going to be in San Francisco. It might be a destination thing. I might have to call people up ahead of time and see if they can travel, if they're interested, if they can come. It might be a family reunion. I don't know. I haven't decided. It is up to me, Gigi. Now, between now and then, I do want to visit each aunt, God willing, because they're in their 90s now. So I'm almost sure that it's time is of the essence, but it's not like I'm sure they won't be able to attend. I got to check into my Wells family. I think my Wells is my dad's family. Dooley is my mom's family. I think the Dooleys, they had a family reunion this year. That's wonderful. They're young, they're all there, they know each other. Good for them. I wouldn't attend anyway. But I don't think there's no weddings. I'll go to weddings, I'll go to graduations, and maybe an anniversary. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just older now. I just want to be at home. I want people to come to me. I don't want to do that much traveling. I know where I'm going to be traveling between now and the next 10 years, and that's it. I already got my plans. But that's where I am. All of that on Celebrate Lollipop Day. Yes, I am. We're going to have some lollipops. I don't know if we're going to have the plain, just suckers. The lollipop is going to be more because you're at an event. You're not going to be looking at a lollipop. It's something you take home with you. You don't sit there and chew on it and blow bubble gum. So it's going to be part of the swag bag, something you can take away. You know what I mean? So that's what I got to figure out. I was even thinking using them wrapped in my decor. I don't know. I got to figure it out. But yeah, thank you, HUGz. Quick 30 minutes of me sharing with you what I got planned in the future that has to do with lollipops. I like the thumbnail because every year I do buy that old fashioned, twisty, rainbow taffied, nostalgic lollipop. For some odd reason, it'll just hit me and I'll buy it and I'll break it up and eat it over time. But last time I bought a lollipop like that, oh my God, let me think. Maybe when I first moved here or moved back, not moved here. 2019, when everything was happy and normal, quoting fingers in the air. But no, not lately. I have to be honest. I would even decorate with them. I don't really eat them. You know what I mean? So if you see any type of lollipop, sucker, blow pop, whatever you call them, it will be in the form of this avatar. And it will definitely be in the real blow pop, as in bubblegum, not Tootsie Roll form. And it will be a takeaway. Okay. So, yes, that's this episode. By the time I post this one, it'll be the next day, and then I'll be caught up, I think. And I forgot on StreamYard, they only give you a certain amount of hours. So if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I'll pay it and we'll keep going forward with celebrating each and every day of July. All right. Talk to y'all later.